While everyone's attention has been on prismatic evolutions, there's been a couple alt art cards that have been quietly going off. In fact, they're like Team Rocket. They're blasting off again. Oh! Okay, I'll stop with that. That was really cringy. I promise. I'll stop.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VMAT. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and joining in on all the fun we have here. Today we're going to be taking a look at some cards that have been quietly going up. Maybe not even so much quietly, but I think there's been a lot of attention directed towards other sets coming out, other cards. Maybe Surging Spark still has a lot of interest, especially now with Terrestrial Festival and obviously Prismatic Evolutions coming out next year. I think a lot of people know that those sets are bangers. So there's a lot of cards from previous sets in the past few years that have been going up quite dramatically. And I wanted to talk about some of these today and highlight them just to see if you guys also have them in your collection, or if you were one of the people who bought them in the last while, or maybe these are cards that you've always wanted and you're curious to know what these cards are. Well, your curiosity has not killed my cat, but it's got you to click on this video, and I appreciate that. Let's talk about some of these cards right here. This is Groudon from Paradox Rift, a beautiful illustration rare, and I find that a lot of illustration rares recently have been going up in price, and a lot of people do focus on special illustration rares, but you have to remember, illustration rares are very difficult to pull as well, and if they have great artwork and they're very popular Pokemon like Groudon here, you know, whenever I see this Pokemon, I think of Pokemon Ruby from the Game Boy Advance, one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. And this card right here is currently sitting at $69.93 for its market price. Nice. And that means that it's up by 50.55% over the last 3 months. And I love the artwork on this card. I love the volcano in the background. I love the fact that it looks like a scene. And I've said this in other videos as well. I prefer my illustration rares and special illustration rares to have something going on in the background, not just be like one card, you know, like one Pokemon in the center and it kind of just looks like a full art. I like that there is like a diorama going on right here. It just makes it look to me like more of an interesting card to either play or to just have in your binder to look at. It just really looks incredible, this card. Next up is Roaring Moon EX, a special illustration rare from Paradox Rift as well. This card has been going up quite dramatically, not quite as dramatic as Groudon, but it's up by 12.65% over the last 3 months, currently sitting at $56.56. Next up is Eevee from Twilight Masquerade. While there is a lot of attention on another card from Twilight Masquerade, spoiler alert, but this card in general is actually up quite a lot by 38.44% over the last 3 months, and it's sitting at $63.56 for its near mint holo market price. Very cool card. I love the artwork on this one as well. And again, it's just an illustration rare. It's not a special illustration rare. So, you know, something to definitely bear in mind. So if you do have a bunch of illustration rares and you just don't really know if they're going to be worth a lot of money, hold on to them, because a lot of these cards are being targeted right now with buyouts. And there's strong seller demand right here, like buyer demand, I should say, not seller demand. It's 23 of them sold from December 9th to 11th. 2 days before that, 27. A few days before that, 34. So the demand is there, and that's why the card price continues to go up. Next is another Twilight Masquerade card. And yeah, I know this one might be a little more obvious, but still, I think it's crazy that it's still been rising, even though there's been a lot of hype around Surging Sparks and Pikachu, but this card seems to be kind of defeating the odds right here, and it's still a beautiful card, and it's a really big chase card from this set. In fact, it's probably the most difficult card to pull in this set. I've barely seen anyone pull this card on YouTube. It's very difficult to pull. Now, this card is currently sitting at $328.93 for its near mint holo market price. It's up by 16.72% over the last 3 months. Now, the next card is a Stellar Crown card. Now, this is interesting, because not only is this an illustration rare, it's from a set, Stellar Crown, that was printed a lot more than other sets in recent sets in Scarlet Violet, and the price for the sealed product has been tanking, but a lot of the cards have been rising. So this might be a similar situation to Paldea Evolved, where we have a set and the sealed product in the booster boxes you know, they're not that high in retrospect to the cards and the potential pull rates for the set. Like this card right here, it's just a regular illustration rare, and while yes, it's Bulbasaur, a popular Pokemon, it's still crazy to see the price movement on this card. It's up by 46.06% over the last 3 months, sitting at $45.38. And I love the artwork on this card, but it also still has other cards to compete with that came out recently. Like there's the Bulbasaur from 151, but I don't know. Which one do you like better? I think I might like this one better than the 151 one. Maybe I'm wrong on that. You let me know down below in the comment section, though I'd say this card is a little more expensive right now. Pretty comparable in price, but I think this is a little pricier than the Bulbasaur from 151. I think it's also a little more difficult to pull. Next up is another card from Stellar Crown. Telling you, this could be a sleeper set, guys. We have a beautiful illustration rare Squirtle here with some Pidgeys making an appearance in the card as well. This is the lightly played. We're not going to take a look at the lightly played. Why don't we look at the near mint? And the near mint card has actually went up by 38.05% over the last 3 months. It's sitting at $56.02, and I love the artwork on this one, but what one do you prefer? If you were going to open up a pack of Stellar Crown, you pulled one of these illustration rares, which one would you rather pull out of that pack? Would it be the Squirtle or the Bulbasaur? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, the last card I wanted to show you is a card that's not from the Scarlet and Violet era. It's from the Sword and Shield era, and it's a card from Brilliant Stars. It's the RCSV alternate full art, a very popular Pokemon. When I see this card, I think of Pokemon Platinum here. Beautiful artwork on this as well. Love everything about it, and it's a very difficult card to pull that's been rising quite substantially. It's actually risen by 36.08% over the last 3 months, sitting at $32.25 with strong sales data as well. 6 of them sold in the last few days, 8 the day before that, 14 of them from December 3rd to 5th. So the sales data is here. There's a lot of demand on this card. Remember, this is just one platform that sells, and so you can get data from. There's other places as well. There's like card shops as well. There's eBay. So you can see there is a lot of demand for this card. And it's interesting because it's competing with a lot of other really popular cards and Pokemon from Brilliant Stars, like the Charizard. But also the Charizard, oddly enough, is also competing with other versions of itself on the market. While there's a lot of Charizard collectors, it did come out pretty close proximity in time to the 151 version of the Charizard. It's not really a version; it's a different Charizard. But like when you're a collector, you're not always an investor with a lot of money. You kind of have to pick and choose which one you want. And there is a lot of people that prefer the Charizard EX from 151 versus the Brilliant Stars V Charizard, but I don't know. What do you guys prefer? Honestly, I still think that the Charizard from Brilliant Stars might be my favorite Charizard in the last few years, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe I'm stupid. If I am stupid, let me know down below in the comment section. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.